Good night, good night, good night. Again, you know my intro already. When you see this nice, handsome face, you know it's either Saturday or Sunday. You know it's either the NFL or the NBA podcast. But obviously, you know tonight is a Saturday, so we're going to do the NFL podcast tonight. And obviously, with me, you know, we have the all-rounder, the guy that I voted for to be analyst of the year, Devin. How you doing,
Yo,
boss?
good, good, good.
All right, so you know we just want to tell for those who for those who celebrate Christmas, we just want to tell you guys Merry Christmas. We just want to go ahead and tell you guys Merry Christmas and obviously Happy New Year when it comes. All right, Devin. So the first thing I want to talk about, right, because you know it has been like a trending issue about the 2 point conversion with Jim Harbaugh,
Yeah.
right? And my thing is, you know, good night, good night, good night, Kish. And my thing is that Devin, when it comes on to Jim Harbaugh, he ran the same exact play he ran in the Steelers game. You know, the same exact play he ran in the Steelers game, he ran in that game. What do you think about Jim Harbaugh?
I don't like it. I don't like it. People may say that he's trying to end the game. It's just the way he coaches. But I don't like it. I don't like the risky play. Like me, like I will always go for the extra point unless you're chasing the game. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? If you're chasing the game and then you're down by 10 points and time running out, you can go for the 2 point conversion. Like, what's the worst case scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Get an extra point, you go to overtime, you play for overtime. It's the same
What?
thing. We were saying it in the last game that he
Uh-huh.
did with Ravens against who was it again? Raiders? I don't know if it was Raiders. I don't remember who was it. Same thing. Even though the play was good, it's just that the
Yeah.
throw was a little bit off. But listen, the safer play is take the extra point and you go to overtime. You
Uh,
can lose or you
the,
can win in overtime.
the thing that I don't like about it, you know, Devin, Aaron Rodgers, this is my thing. Aaron Rodgers still had 42 seconds on the clock, right? There was still 42 seconds with two timeouts. And if the same thing that he was fearing in regulation time, or the same thing could have happened. The same thing when they're fearing overtime, and the same thing could have happened in them 42 seconds. Because with the Baltimore secondary all decimated and stuff, all Aaron Rodgers needed to do was to get in field goal range. And everybody would have bet same would have get in a field goal range. You know, you'd have bet your money say Aaron Rodgers are getting a field goal range. So I think at that point in time, I believe 5, 10 years ago, everybody would have applaud him, say yes, aggressive. Because I remember, you know, obviously, you know, with technology and everything, the NFL changed as well, you know. Because back at that point, 99% of coaches kicking that extra point. You know, now everybody want to be aggressive, everybody want to go for the win. You see the Chargers coach going for it on fourth down, which ultimately cost them the game. You know, so I think we need to pick our spots where aggression is concerned. But no, I want to go into the Baltimore
It's
game
just
because
like just like the game today, Kems. Even though it worked out like early in the Green Bay game, I'm just
yeah,
not the person who like to go for the risky play. Like I think it was the first drive for Green Bay. Remember the first drive? It was
yep,
4th and 1, and they were like in Green Bay, like in their
they're in their own
20 yards.
territory. Yep.
Yeah, they won like 20 yards. If Cleveland had gotten the ball, they would be like close to goal. I didn't like the play, even though it was a 4th and 1. They went
Yep.
for it and it was successful, but I don't like those kind of plays, to be honest with you,
I agree
because they
totally.
were just up by 6. Because the guy
Yep.
missed the first. Remember, he missed the extra point, so they were up
Yep.
by 6. I don't like that. I just don't. It's just me.
I totally 100% agree.
Yeah, I
I
don't like.
totally agree with you. But let me talk about the Baltimore game a little bit because Baltimore plays against Cincinnati, right? And this is basically, I believe anybody win this game win the division.
Mhm.
Anyone loses this game, I believe is out of the playoffs, right? Even though they don't have Lamar because Lamar has been ruled out for this game. But this quarterback, though, this quarterback, I don't think they have enough film on him. But even though he's not as good as Lamar in terms of running the football, but I think he throws the ball better, and I think he's more overwhelming for defenders. What do you see? I think his name is Huntley. So what do you see? What do you see about this quarterback?
Well, I like the way he played the game, and then he seemed to be fearless. Like the pressure didn't get to him. Like, he wasn't playing like a backup quarterback. And he's big and he's strong. He can carry the ball as well. And he handled himself good in the pocket. He just makes simple plays, and he has a good arm to me. I was watching him. He has a good arm, and I think he played well. And like, if he comes in again and plays good again, I mean, Lamar is their guy, but he will start getting looking to say, wonder if we can. So I don't know if they will use an interchangeable with Lamar, but I like him. I like the way he played, and he conducts himself good in terms of his pocket play. He didn't do anything extravagant.
Yes.
So they always say, like, so I'll use they always say in cricketing terms, right?
Yeah.
Like, you judge a wicket keeper. Like, sometimes you don't have nothing to say about him. There's nothing to say.
Yes.
Once there's nothing much to say, that means he had a good game. So there's not much to say about this guy in the game. Like, you couldn't say that it was a mistake. So he had a good game.
Yeah. Gary, Merry Christmas, boss. How you doing?
Yeah, yes, boss. Big up yourself. Bless up. Doing good enough.
All right. So we're talking about Tyler Huntley. I think that's his name.
Yeah, man.
The quarterback for the Ravens. And
yeah.
What do you see? What do you see with this player?
To be honest, I was looking at him in the game against Green Bay. I think it was on Monday night or Sunday night, the other night. And he looked, I know it's just one game, sample size is small, but he doesn't, he has some poise in the pocket.
2 games actually.
Okay. Well,
because
yeah.
because he played against the Steelers and he played against the Packers.
Yeah. I didn't recall the Steelers. I didn't watch the Steelers game, but the one that I saw Green Bay, this week, he had poise in the pocket. If I was just looking at him, just came and didn't see what it was, he has some semblance of Lamar slightly, not as athletic and explosive, but he can move around. He runs in the pocket. He scrambles, kind of makes plays. Extends plays a little bit. I am going to say this, it's not an exaggeration, but I know it's a small sample size, but he does throw the ball a little bit more accurate than Lamar from what I've seen. Maybe in another, if he plays some more games, he might look really way out. But from what I've seen so far, he makes some really great throws. So he looks. I said after this is his second game. I said against Green Bay. I didn't see the first game, but in that game against Green Bay, to drive to make remember they were down 14, right? And put together 2 drives and 2 touchdowns in a few minutes. He doesn't look like a deer in headlights. He doesn't look shaky compared to a lot of the starting quarterbacks in the league. Probably like the Baker Mayfields and those guys, when they have the team to put together some drives to get back in the game. You see the level of poise and the grit he has to really get back his team in the game. I really liked it, what I saw. So if, for argument's sake, Lamar was to suffer a season-ending injury, I wouldn't say like the Ravens are doomed. So it's not like they will be starting a Blake Bortles or one of these third-string quarterbacks that don't really, you see them at the in the pocket, and you see them at center and say, my God, this is doomsday. But if the Ravens were to lose Lamar for an extended period, I would be comfortable to say, like, they have somebody that is competent enough to get the job done. Might not take it to the Super Bowl or win the AFC, but we'll give them some hope that they can do something in the playoffs.
All right. So,
but I'm hearing he's out for Sunday though.
Lamar is out.
No, the same guy. I'm thinking he tests positive for COVID as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I don't hear any reports. I think Lamar will be back. I'm not sure if he will.
Game over. Baker threw a 4th pick. Breaking news: Baker Mayfield just threw his 4th pick of the game.
I was watching.
Packers win. Game over. Packers win. Baker Mayfield calling for a flag. Breaking news, people. I had to get that one out.
Cleveland done still enough. Them Cleveland, it's over for Cleveland.
So let me transition into this game because I remember, I remember Gary.
Yeah.
I remember Gary. You were the one who, you were saying that any game that, and I'm paraphrasing, any game that Cleveland wins, it is in spite of Baker Mayfield. I believe Devin was one of them who was picking up for Baker. You remember when we had played that game, when we had said, are you going to ship them out of town or keep them?
Yeah.
And Devin said he was going to keep Baker. After a performance like this, I honestly believe Baker has to go. Right? I honestly believe Baker has to go. Why? When you look at the quarterbacks who are going to be available, for example, if I am Cleveland, I'm going for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying Jimmy Garoppolo is the next coming of Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but Jimmy Garoppolo has been to a Super Bowl. He didn't win it, but he has been to a Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo has been proven into this league. What Baker Mayfield has been proven with is commercials. Every time I turn on my TV and see progressive commercial, it's Baker Mayfield I see for my TV, gallivanting. So
it was like Jake from State Farm.
Like Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I can't laugh belly full.
So I just want to know where Baker is concerned. What do we think about Baker, Devin? What do you think about him now?
No, Baker.
Because look,
Baker
out,
but if I'm saying Baker out, boy, I'm not sure if Jimmy G is an upgrade from Baker. I'm not sure if Jimmy G is an upgrade from Baker. I think it's 6 or 1 half dozen the other, irrespective of the fact that he went to the Super Bowl and everything. But I'm seeing some games. Jimmy G missing some open throws. Like, he has all the protection, in the pocket, and just missing open guys. In the last game, there were like some throws where it's not like a guy has been double teamed on, like, and just miss open guys. So I'm not sure if I could agree with you this time on Baker out, but Jimmy G, nah, he could.
All right. So I believe there's going to be.
Well, Kems, just quickly to add to what you were saying about Jimmy G versus Baker.
Yeah.
And I don't rate Jimmy G any at all. Cause the nickname porn star Jimmy G, and that's what he's known. Because you hear Steve nailed it on first day. And to me personally, I don't rate him any at all. And when I look at the two, I don't really think Jimmy G is as bad as Baker. It might be a small uptick, and that is just to show you how I view Baker right now. Because if I had a game to choose between the two, I'm gonna close my eye. 6 or 1 half dozen, Devin said, but it's more like 7 and 6. So we give Jimmy G 6.5 and Baker 6. So I might give I might be Jimmy G half a point more than, because Jimmy G not special. So just to show you how much Baker is, under. I don't rate Baker in that.
All right, here is Shanila Ellis asking, how good is Jimmy G? Which team does he play for? All right, so Jimmy G plays for the San Francisco 49ers right now. And I believe he is so there are 32 teams in the NFL. So 32 starting quarterbacks. I believe Jimmy G is top 20. I'll give him top 15 right now. I believe he's one of the 15 best quarterbacks in the league right now. And obviously, he's making some mistakes, which, totally understandable. The interception that he threw in the end zone was unacceptable. And the guy that was wide open, he did the same thing in the Super Bowl when Emmanuel Sanders was wide open to just win the game, win the Super Bowl, if just have to make that throw, and he missed it. So there are certain things that Jimmy G can improve on. But let's be honest, apart from Rodgers, Brady, which quarterback doesn't need to improve? Which quarterback doesn't have any mechanical issues that they need to improve? So, I really believe that I would, if I am the Cleveland Browns, because I tell you, Cleveland Browns on Pro Football Focus, right? Cleveland Brown has the number one offensive line. Cleveland Brown has the number one running game. Cleveland has top 5 defense. The only thing that is not top 10 for Cleveland or top 5 is the quarterback. You know, so as a result of that, I just believe that we have to get rid of the quarterback in order for Cleveland, because in a division, yes sir.
Yeah, man. Not continue. I didn't watch the game because I came in late and so forth. But I'm looking at the stats here, and you have Nick Chubb running the ball, 17 carries for 126 yards, right? Yeah. And Baker threw the ball 36 times, had 4 picks. I don't even know the quality of picks, because some of the times they can't say the picks. You know, it's not necessarily on the quarterback. It's a tick ball.
All of them were on the quarterback.
All right. So I'm saying that, my God, how can you have a running game this great and you have prolific running in Nick Chubb, right? And Kareem Hunt also can run the ball well. And you have good receivers, you have Peoples Jones and those. And you can't even, take the team out of harm's way, not put yourself in harm's way all the time. I don't think he's atrocious, man. He's atrocious.
Yeah, but another thing, even though he's atrocious, though, I think the coach, I'm going to put some blame to the coach for this game, too, because Baker was throwing the ball too much for my liking. Like he was throwing the ball too many times for my liking.
Yeah.
And with a team with such a good run game, he should have been running the ball more. But it's like, I'm seeing this game where, wait, what's happening here? Why is he throwing the ball so many times? Like, he threw the ball like a lot of times. And like, for a team with such a good running game, and your quarterback limitation, if I was the coach, I'd be trying to go more for the running game. But it's like, it seemed like this game, the coach was saying, I'm just going to let Baker just throw the ball, keep throwing the ball. And that was a bad play. But like, how many times you saying throw the ball already? How many times, like what?
36 times.
That's 36 times too many for me. That's too many times.
But the question is, Devin, I'm not sure of the game because you guys watched. Some of the times when the team is down by a big score, they will tend to divert or move away from running the ball. So I don't know if maybe the game was close and there was no excuse for him to.
Good point. I'm going to answer to you that, because early in the game when they were up, I heard the commentators were saying, "Right, this is." They were throwing the ball like in comparison to running the ball like 2 times to 1, and the commentator was saying he didn't like that. I must say, you know what? Same thing I was saying. Same. Remember, all the son was there watching. Same thing I was saying. 17
carries at 126 yards. 17 carries is not a lot. I'm gonna work that out and see how much. That is about what? 7.4 yards per clip. And you're telling me you only get Chubb 17 carries? The guy was running the ball impressively. And you have Baker throwing the ball left, right, and center all over the place. It's ridiculous, man. 7 yards per. That is even more than some teams yards per play on passing, because that even for passing is good. So I think that they went away from the game plan, because as I said, Baker is not one of the guys that you would want to throw the ball 35 times.
Big up.
At least if Baker can throw the ball between 20 to 28 times per game, I have 25 carries or 30 carries to Nick Chubb, but between him and Kareem Hunt, that would be very good. But Baker throwing the ball like he's Rodgers and he's Brady and Patrick Mahomes, as bad as Patrick Mahomes' mechanics be, and he's throwing it, he's that elite of a quarterback. Those guys can take you out of a slump. Baker Mayfield is no world beater. I think Cleveland needs to really move away from Baker. Yeah. It is ridiculous. And the team is not. It's as some of these quarterbacks, Kems, would dream to have this kind of team, this offensive line, this running game. You know what I mean? And the receivers, as I said, good receivers. Drop them in the system. Drop Rodgers in the system. Anybody else? They would be
but remember now. So if we look at the players who we believe, if we look at the quarterbacks who we believe will come available. Merry Christmas, Michelle. I don't really celebrate them thing about. If somebody say Merry Christmas, me say same to you. It matter to me. Shanila Ellis, saying that March, April 22, I'm going to be an expert. Absolutely, Shanila. I definitely believe in you. And, would love a woman on the NFL panel for sure. Come talk some NFL or even come talk some basketball or even some EPL as well. And then, obviously, next year is the track and field. So we have that as well. So you can come on board for that as well. But remember, Gary, Russell Wilson will become available because he wants out of Seattle. No doubt. Jimmy G definitely will become available, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Who else I'm thinking? Who else I'm thinking about? I'm thinking even about this guy.
Well, let's say Rodgers in the games. Your boy, speculation still up in the air. I don't know.
But I don't think he'll go to Cleveland. I don't think he'll go to Cleveland.
Even if he's leaving, he wouldn't want Cleveland.
I think he'll probably go to Denver. I think he'll go to Denver because Denver have the defense and the receiving core. They just need a quarterback. I think he'll even go to Steelers because Steelers have the defense, the coach, and the receiving core.
Yeah, that's a good.
Big Ben just old. All right.
Yeah, and he's retiring too, so they need a quarterback.
All right, so let us look quickly on the next game that we have going on. The next game that's going to be played, the Arizona Cardinals against the Indianapolis Colts. I must state that for the Colts, they missed their D lineman Darius Leonard, because he's now on injury reserve because he tested positive for COVID. For the viewers who are in the comment section, when a player is on injury reserve, he has to miss at least 3 games. So he can feel better and then come back the next game once he's been placed on injury reserve. Arizona Cardinals, from DeAndre Hopkins went down, Kyler Murray been in and out. They haven't been that same team that started 7-0. They haven't been that same team. They lost to freaking Detroit. They lost to Detroit the other day.
Yeah.
Like how do you lose to Jared Goff? If you're serious about the playoffs, right? While the Indianapolis Colts, they got a big win against the Patriots. Patriots was one of the hottest teams in the AFC, and they got a big win. Indianapolis Colts is one of those teams that I'm saying no team wants to see this team in the playoffs. So, Devin, who do you see winning this game? Because I want to put some money on this game. Who do you see winning this game?
It's a close game to put money on still, but Colts have the momentum, but I'm going with the home team because Arizona is at home. Kyler will be for this game. And then with Arizona too, I think they want to catch some momentum going into the playoffs. So I'm going with Arizona to win the game. They want to, like you said, you can't lose to Detroit and then you come back next game and don't represent in the next game. So I think that's a game where they no way on earth they should have lost that game, but now coming to this game they're gonna step it up and they're gonna get a W. Kyler Murray will come. Coming back from off the injury, he doesn't look the same, and the team overall doesn't look like when they started out, like, because they were touting him to be an MVP level and MVP caliber. They kind of fell off. So now I'm thinking that they're gonna do well against this Colts team. This Colts team is gonna run against them, but the Arizona, I'm confident that they're gonna do enough to win at home. The home factor is why I give them this win, even though Colts they win on the road, to win at home too. They're playing really good, but I'm going Arizona.
Arizona. Here's Shanila Ellis saying, I think Arizona gonna win.
I think so too, Shanika. They have to bounce back, man. After you lose to Detroit, there's no way you can come and not represent the next.
Because this is my thing, and I talk about this when I'm on the EPL podcast as well. This is my thing with sports, Gary. You see, when you play a big emotional game, I don't think you can repeat that performance back to back. And I believe the Colts game that they played against the Patriots, it took everything out of them to win that game and pull out that game, right? So I believe that, this is going to be a clunker for the Colts. I believe Carson Wentz going to throw about probably the same amount of picks with Baker throw, or probably throw 2 or 3 picks. I think Kyler Murray, because the Arizona Cardinals have not been great at home. They have been better on the road. Their home form has been absolutely trash. So I think Kyler will step up, I think they need a win in this game in order to clinch their playoff berth, because in that division is very, very, very tight. They haven't won the division yet because the Rams is right on their heels. So how do you see this one going here? Do you think that
All right. Looking at this game, considering all the factors that both you guys just discussed, the Cardinals are 500 team at home. They are 3-3. The Colts are 4-2 away. So the Colts are better away than the Cardinals are at home. As you said, Kems, they got a big win against the Patriots the last game, you know, and they run the ball well. Jonathan Taylor is having a case for an MVP season. He's been very explosive, lead the league in in touchdowns at the running back position. And he's, as I said, getting some serious consideration for MVP. Colts have been on an uptick, you know, trajectory. While the Cardinals, over the last 3 games, they have started out 7-0. They noticed, I think they were 10-1 at one point, and they lost the last 2 games. They lost to the Rams most recently, and then they lost. Actually, they lost to the Lions, and then they lost to the Rams. So they lost the last 2 games. They would want to keep pace, or because they have lost. Remember, at one point, they are the number 1 seed, basically, up by 2 games on everybody else. They have lost that number 1 seed to the Green Bay Packers. And then in that division, NFC West, you have basically 3 teams from the NFC West, basically in the playoffs picture. So I think the Cardinals want to win this game, basically, and make some ground on Green Bay and kind of keep themselves in the mix for the number 1 seed. So as you pointed out, that was a big win. The Colts, I expect them to still run the ball well, but I'm looking for the Cardinals to really bounce back in this game. As I said, they have lost the last 2. I expect, you know, them to really pick up the slack now and get a victory in this game. As I said, the home record for them is not good, but the Colts now coming off that big win, I really don't expect them to have that same form in this game. They will run the ball well, but you don't expect Carson Wentz to really play great or play a special game, back-to-back games. They expect him to do something, you know, that he usually does, come back down to earth. So I'm looking at this game, and I believe that the Cards will win it. I don't think they will win it going away, a blowout game. It might be close in the 4th, but I expect the Cardinals to pull away in the end. So I'm looking for a win for them in this game.
All right. So since both you and Devin agree, then I'm gonna put a $50 on it. I'm gonna put a $50 on it, and see what can go on for me. All right. So the Pro Bowl team steps to the rescue for Golden State Warriors. Final score: Suns 107, Warriors 116. We'll talk about that tomorrow, boss. No basketball talk today.
Oh,
no basketball talk today.
I just saw that notification, you know, that game was.
Hey, let me tell you something. You see, if I did Warriors lose, but now see that comment they pop up though, you know. If a Warriors
lose, you now see that comment there.
See one man. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about the Pro Bowl. I want to talk to you guys about the Pro Bowl. I don't know if you guys follow the Pro Bowl closely.
Yeah.
But there were 3 quarterbacks from each division selected. The NFC and the AFC. So the NFC quarterbacks were Aaron Rodgers as the starter, Tom Brady, and Kyler Murray. And there was a bunch of ring-a-ring-a-rosy that, you know, how comes Kyler Murray made it over Matthew Stafford? Devin, do you think that there's a legitimate argument to be made that Matthew Stafford should have made it over Kyler Murray?
I think it's an equal thing, but then, you know, Murray, he started off good, and like in terms of what he has done for that team, it cannot be denied. The record showed. And then for Rams, I mean, they did well. Matthew Stafford did well, but Kyler was more impressive for me. If put it this way, if Stafford had been there instead of Murray, you know, I wouldn't have had a big issue about it. But then if he was us, so Murray was selected ahead of him, I had no issue with it. I don't know if you're gonna put it to. I don't know if you're gonna mention for the other conference separately because I don't want to jump the gun because I don't know if you're gonna mention about the other conference with the other
Yeah,
three.
I'm going to get Gary thoughts first, and then
Yeah,
after Gary
cause
thoughts, then we'll talk about that.
okay. Cause something I want to say about the other one because I was watching this show. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah. All right. The Pro Bowl, as you know, is basically, well, traditionally, you know, a lot of times I feel it is about you know, popularity and names in the league. You know, over the last few years,
Wait.
you know, you have some picks that you can look at and you say, all right, those picks shouldn't have made the Pro Bowl. Some snubs have been, you know, over the years. We had some snubs where you can look and point out, say, boy, you know, how this man make it over this man, right? In the case of Kyler Murray versus Matthew Stafford, as Devin made some good points, Kyler Murray missed about 3 games, I think they're about. Remember, at one point they had the number 1 seed. They stumbled over the last few weeks. I'm not sure as to when the announcement of the Pro Bowl starters was made. That can be a factor as well to say,
Next
all right, at the time when they made, because they know they'd have to select the Pro Bowl starters and the teams, you know, a few weeks earlier. So maybe Kyler Murray at the time maybe missed 1 game. He was still playing well. Remember, there was a lull or a slump for Matty Stafford where he had about 3 games he threw 2 picks per game, 2 picks in consecutive games, and I think
Pick
pick
six.
sixes in
Yep.
those games as well. And he was at one point, I think was leading the league in QBR, and then he dropped back down after about 3 games to about 4. So I am not, for me, I wouldn't say it's a snub on Matty Stafford. As Devin said, you know, if they had Matty Stafford and not Kyler Murray, I wouldn't say, boy, no, how them to do that. Or if they, you know, have Kyler Murray and leaving out Matty Stafford, I wouldn't say any either way. But you know, it is not such a big thing for me. Either one could have been selected and wouldn't be a grouse. So those factors would have to be considered why either one was chosen. But it's either near or dear for me. If Matty Stafford was the starter in the NFC but over Kyler Murray, I don't think it's a biggie, to be honest. That's
No,
my position.
Kev, sorry. It's the same division, man. It's the same division I wanted to say something about.
Yes.
Same conference. No, I was
Oh,
watching this show. You know the show come on Fox with these 2 black guys named Wiley and the afternoon here. Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, man. Speak for yourself and fact in the afternoon. Yeah.
Yo, man, I wanna know some of them guys really up on TV talk some stuff now. Cause you see the point that Gear mentioned. They say it's like a popularity contest. The guy with the ear rugged up, like
Acho.
Yeah, Acho.
Yeah, the Nigerian guy.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest, but so he's wondering why Dak didn't get a consideration. I'm like, Dak, because he's with the most pop. Just like you said, Doug Garrett. So I'm glad you mentioned the aspect about popularity contest. He's saying the Dallas Cowboys is the most popular team in America. And since it's a popular contest, why Dak didn't get a look in? I'm like, is this guy serious? I'm like, them people come on TV just to talk things, just to do it. Just to, like, stir up some controversy or something. Are him really serious there? I mentioned Dak. Yo. So I couldn't understand how that get mentioned into any of this at all. I don't understand.
Boy, that one. All right. The AFC now. If I remember correctly, it was Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Right? And I think they had Justin Herbert as the starter.
As a starter, yeah.
Yeah, they had Justin Herbert as the starter, if I'm not mistaken. So, do we have any qualms about that, or is that all good?
Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, and the next one, sorry, Kim.
Jackson.
And
I missed the next one. Lamar, okay. And the AFC.
Yeah,
AFC. And Herbert was a starter.
Herbert is the starter.
I see why they had Herbert as the start. I don't really have a big problem. You know, Chiefs have been on the rise. last few weeks. I think I was looking towards them having Mahomes as a starter, but I guess maybe it's form based on what has been happening. Because even though Mahomes, the team is on a 7-game winning streak, you know that the defense has been tremendous, lights out, the best defense over that period, 11 points per game over those 7 games. Mahomes has not been his prolific self. Quarterback rating has dipped, even though he had 400 yards other game. He wasn't special. He fumbled at a pick or so thereabout. So Herbert, you know, he's a new kid on the block. I guess I don't really too have a big problem with Mahomes or Herbert. Lamar, you know, has had some, you know, inaccuracies with his throws. He's at a slump. The Ravens have really, basically, the Ravens are out of the playoffs now. You know what happened the last 2 games. I still have, you know, I'm I don't even want to talk about that because I tell Kevin we don't talk about that boneheaded decision by John Harbaugh. Ridiculous. But you see what is happening with the Ravens, and Lamar has been injured. He hasn't been playing well the last few games. But I think overall those are the 3 best quarterbacks in the AFC currently on form. So yeah, not bad. I don't really have no qualms with that, to be honest.
All right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the games now that are left to be played. So we all agree that Arizona will win this game, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
All right, so let us look at the Atlanta Falcons versus the Detroit Lions, and I just
Detroit,
want the
man.
winners. I just want the winners for these. And then after, you guys can tell us 5 picks for Sunday, for tomorrow.
Good Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going with Falcons. The Falcons 6-8. And you know, Falcons, even though it's an outside chance, I think they still believe that they can make it to the playoffs. So hey, and Detroit coming into town, I like the Falcons.
Yeah,
What do you like, Gary? Yeah.
Yeah, man, I like the Falcons. The fairy tale thing for the Lions, you know, kind of them not running out. They have 2, you know, good wins, but I don't expect them to win against the Falcons. I'm rooting with the Falcons.
All right. How about the
Yeah.
Panthers and the Tampa Bay Bucks? Devin.
Blow it. Yeah, Tampa winning by at least 2 touchdowns.
All right, so you should please be reminded that there will be no Mike Evans, there will be no Chris Godwin,
And no Leonard
there will
Fournette.
be no Leonard Fournette, right?
Yeah.
And remember, even though the problem with Carolina, you know, has been their offense, their defense is actually pretty good, but because the
Yeah.
offense is so bad, the defense has to be on the field too long.
All right.
Obviously.
Put it this way: if the next quarterback start over Cam Newton, then they won't get blown. Once Cam Newton starts, they blow it more.
Well,
hey, Wally come here.
That's why Wally run. That's why Wally run from the show, man.
Yeah, you see by the show.
Rodgers saying, will the Goff dude be available tomorrow? Yes, I think he's available tomorrow. I haven't seen any reports that he's not. I think he'll be available.
Goff, I don't expect them to. I don't see them winning anything. No matter whether Goff playing.
They could have go for Peyton. They could have go for Peyton, man, and we don't think them are going to win this game. Detroit is just a bad football team, right?
Come on, bad team.
You know, I'm going with the upset for this game. You know, I'm going with the upset for this game. Let me tell you why, right? And I'm not sure if Sam Darnold, because I think they said, you know, the coach called out Cam Newton basically last game. You know, the coach was saying that there were some simple plays that the quarterback was supposed to make, and he just didn't make them. Yeah, so he's calling out Cam Newton. And I heard that Sam Darnold was supposed to come back. But what I'm getting at is that when we have seen when Tom Brady don't have his, it's just like, you know, you're out here living. When you don't have a nice crisp car, you know, you don't have a nice fast car, you're not going to go race from the road with your Toyota Corolla. You know, you're going to just take it easy.
True.
All right. Matt Rose announcement that Cam Newton will start with Sam Darnold mixing in sounded more like a threat than a promise. Yep, there you go. I don't know, PJ, the quarterback named
PJ
PJ
Walker.
Walker have to be absolutely terrible for Cam Newton to keep on starting.
Keep on a player, for real.
because trust me. But you know, I'm picking the Panthers for this game because I believe should the Panthers win this game or even make the game close, because right now Rodgers has overtook Tom Brady in the MVP race, you know. Because you see, Rodgers was named the starter of the Pro Bowl, and the odds makers have now Rodgers' favorite to win. You know, and Vegas always know before we know. So if Tom Brady have another stinker, then I believe that is for him. Because the Bucks have been trying their very hardest to give Tom Brady the MVP.
Yeah, but you know, he gone. Let him know.
All right. Cincinnati versus Baltimore.
Ooh.
I have Baltimore winning this game.
FC North matchup.
Yo, you know, with Baltimore has a lot of COVID issues in the camp, and I'm not, somebody has to confirm it, but I'm thinking that the Huntley guy who played good, quarterback Tyler, I think his name is Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, yeah.
I think he tested positive. I'm not sure. I'm seeing somewhere he may not play on Sunday as well. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley test positive for COVID.
Yeah,
so that means, so we're starting. RG, is it RG?
RG not play football. RG not up on the side. RG I release a book right now.
Yeah, so
yeah. So who's there? Because I didn't see him. I'm wondering who's their third string quarterback. I didn't even know that he's not around now. Because I didn't even hear anything of.
So definitely I'm going with the Bengals.
Yep. I can't believe I picked something for that game at the backside.
Yeah, but then like when you pick, like we never hear
when
about
these picks. Sometimes we make these picks in the games late in the week.
Yeah,
it depends on when on Thursday I make the pick, probably Thursday evening and you hear a release.
Because up to Thursday I thought you would have. I never knew about this COVID thing until probably a couple of days.
Man, if some of these the releases come late, so if you make a pick earlier in the day, you know, it might affect what you had picked earlier. So to be honest, I'm not sure.
What's his name? Josh Johnson. They just signed a player named Josh Johnson. He last played in 2018 for the New York Jets. So he'll be starting. You know
the brother that comes? Who is that?
Yeah. I don't know for right.
No, but if I don't know, if we really here, it can't be nothing for right. Josh Johnson can't be nothing for right.
Yeah, so Josh Johnson will be starting. Hey, let me tell you, in sports, sometimes these stories write themselves, bro. And the man might just come in and just light up the Bengals and win the game and get a contract with another team. I just saw them.
And then I'm gonna wet the bed the next game.
And then go wet the bed. And go wet the bed the next team.
That happens all the time. That happens all the time for you.
I'm going with Cincinnati for this. I'm going with Cincinnati for this game. Then. All agree?
Yeah, but you know I'm finding funny games like even with this, and Cincinnati is just favored to win by 3 with all these COVID related thing with Ravens. So I don't know what the bookie them know or what them see are I don't know. I can't understand because I would think like since so many people don't know, they would have gotten a spread like about 7 or so, and the game is at Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like the bookies know something.
Yeah, they know something.
Kems. Yes, sir.
Kems. All right. Want to touch on something quickly in this division, the FC North, and it's in relation to Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. You realize, I think it was before the last game when they had lost. They were, I think, in the wild card. They were leading division.
They were leading the division.
Yes, and then because they had lost that game, they actually got knocked out of the lead and also out of the playoff. I think they were the 8th seed, out of the playoffs totally. And the last 2 games, just want to touch on this quickly. John Harbaugh went for an 2-point conversion, right? To quote unquote win the game, and he lost those 2 games. And I think based on what has been happening, they lost 3 games now by about 4 points. I think I was looking at the results. And the last game, trust me, I think John Harbaugh sometimes interjects himself too much in these games, right? Yeah, the analytics say what do you call it now? Analytics say you should go for it and fourth down because it's 50-50 and all of that stuff. Sometimes it's best served for you to play smart. To be honest, because remember they were down, right? And they would have tied the game with that PAT. But you consider to go for the 2 point. That would put him up by a point. Just by a point, you know. And remember, Green Bay would receive the ball, right? And I think Rodgers had 42, if not
42 seconds. 42
seconds thereabout, or 44. Almost a minute with about a timeout, I think, or 2 timeouts. But they had at least 1 timeout. And I'm saying, what they would go up by 1. And he's saying in the post-game press conference, he would be going for the win at that point. What kind of nonsense is that? It's not a walk-off. You are not guaranteed the win going up by 1 with Rodgers on the other side, with getting your team into a field goal position. Remember in the games, all they wanted is 3 points, you know. It's not like Rodgers would have to go the full length and get a touchdown to win. It would just put them up by 1 point, and Rodgers need to put the team in field goal position. So getting the PAT, tying up the game, Rodgers now trying to get the field goal with the game tied. More likely, if a man beats this now, you say, boy, fine. But you going for it there. If you don't make it, you're still not guaranteed the win either way. So going for the win, you get in the PAT tying it up. You're not guaranteed the win. But there, if you don't get it, it's still not guaranteed the win either way. So I think it didn't make no sense when you weigh the pros and cons. It was ridiculous. I think he should have just gone on for the PAT. And if the Ravens, but remember in the Chems, in that game, you know, the defense was playing well, you know. Remember, they had sacked them on 2 drives, right? And they drove down the length of the field and got the 2 touchdowns. So it's not like you were saying that, all right? Baltimore's defense wasn't stopping Rodgers. You are saying to the guys on your defense, boy, you know, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Just let the guys, you know, try to get a stop for you. So that, because of that situation now, I feel that John Harbaugh made some great blunders on those, especially the last game, and that might even make them not make the playoffs, not knowing Lamar Huntley's status, not Lamar Jackson's status.
Yeah.
You know, I if they don't make the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised, because the last few games has been some bad decisions personally, I believe, and some poor done.
And my thing, Gary, if your team is not healthy, just want to get healthy and come back next season. Just get healthy. Don't make the playoffs boring. We want healthy, exciting teams, you know, in the playoffs. All right. So what I'm going to do, right? I want you guys to think about your 5 picks in the interest of time. So I'm going to go and think about I'm going to name my 5 picks that is sure money, because I've been, you know, I just won some money off Green Bay. I actually bet for Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers to score over 2.5 touchdowns, and he threw for 3, you know, and it was plus 115 Devin. So I don't know, I want to calculate. I think that's our $1.50 odds. Something like that.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna put a little change on it and win. So
Sorry, Kev. See when I say no, see the line. Oh, I just checked now. Like I was talking about Cincinnati and Ravens game.
Yeah.
Line moved to 8 points now.
Yeah. So they know what's going on. They know what's
going on. Yeah. Seems that way.
All right. So these are my 5 picks. People, I know somehow no, not getting a Christmas gift. Somehow no.
Yeah, man.
Then at the doghouse, I can make it up for the new year. I promise you. With these 5 picks, you guys can make it up for the new year. Here we go. I'm going straight up. Las Vegas Raiders over the Denver Broncos. Seattle Seahawks over the Chicago Bears. Philadelphia Eagles over the New York Giants. Los Angeles Rams over the Minnesota Vikings. Los Angeles Chargers over the Houston Texans. And just like the lotto, I'm giving you guys a bonus one too. And you know I'm ready for this bonus? Pittsburgh Steelers over the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a big win. No Travis Kelce. They still have Tyreek Hill. I don't fear
Green,
Tyreek.
we will
I
put
don't
that
fear.
on Ken.
Let me tell you, I don't fear Tyreek Hill. I fear Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce remind me of Gronk. Big body where you
Yeah.
you must double him. Tyreek, you
Man,
can play Tyreek in a zone or play
yeah, that's true.
two deep safeties and you can close him out the game. Travis
Yeah.
Kelce, you can't stop that man.
Can't stop. It's like a motor, a motor train.
So guys, I give you guys 5 picks, and if you guys want something nice, you know, the partner wants an iPhone or a new Samsung or an iPad, that 6 pick with the Pittsburgh Steelers is all money, all gravy. Devin, you ready for me?
Yes, man. You know what? This week, all right, I'll go to spread, but I'm going with some points.
Yes.
All right? Going some teams with some points, people. When you understand what I'm saying, all right? I'm buying these teams with the points. These teams are the underdogs. All right, the first one up, Bills. New England is favored to win by 2 points. That's like a pick 'em, but I'm taking Bills with those 2 points. All right, taking Bills with those two points.
All right.
That's my first one. These 2 division games, I'm taking these teams with the points. I'm taking Giants. Don't have anybody playing the quarterback, but Philly by 10. I'm taking Giants with those 10 points because a division game. Once it's a division game and it's so many points, I always take the team with the points. Giants with the 10. The next division game, I'm taking Washington as well with the 10. Division game, I'm taking Washington with because Heineken is coming back too. Taking Washington with those 10 points. So that's 3. All right. The game when you talk about Chiefs and Steelers, I'm going with Steelers with the points. You're going for the upset. I'm going with the points. That's 10 points. I think that's 10. That's a lot of points.
10 points?
10, yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'm taking that's my favorite pick. Steelers with the 10 points.
All right.
So that's 4.
I like those.
Yeah, that's 4. And the last one is, I didn't know that so many people would have been out for the Bucks, and the game is on the road for them too. I'm taking Panthers with the 10 points.
All right, those are some really nice picks.
Yeah, so those are my 5. All the team with the points.
People, I like Devin picks, all except for the Bills. I don't like that Bills pick. at all. Yeah. You know, people. So be careful. I don't like that Bills pick. Gary, go ahead.
All right. My picks. All right, so I'm going with the just straight out, no spread, no points, no nothing.
All right.
I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles over the New York Giants.
Okay.
I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers over the Houston Texans. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals over Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys over Washington. And left me with one game, you know, like a spot of bother, but all right, make a roll. Put my neck on the block because I'm kind of confident I like what go on the last games. So I'm rolling with the New Orleans Saints over the Miami Dolphins. You know, Kem's like that one. Yeah.
Hey,
momentum going into the playoffs.
People, do not buy that at all. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Remember, you know, there is no Taysom Hill. There's no Trevor Simeon. There's this third string guy. I don't even know this guy's name.
Blake Bortles. It's
not Blake Bortles that start.
Ian Book?
Yes, Ian Book.
No, but the sign Blake, so it's not Blake a start. I'm sure that I heard some reports.
No, Blake is backing up Ian Book.
All right, people, if we don't put a little money on it, we can win some. Just put it that. But anyway, I just feel the momentum. I feel the vibe for us. You know, one of them pick the way just want to go out on the branch. Yeah. You know what I mean, Devin? I go out on the branch.
Yeah, man, if you feel it, hunch, man, you feel it, man.
at home and the defense clicking now and thing, you know. But no Kems don't like that, you know, because here we have Miami a field team and it feel
Miami is
like
Tua is on a 6-game win streak. They were 1-7. They are now 7-7. Playing against the Saints, they're going to be 8-7. And hey, AFC teams have to watch out for the Dolphins because the Dolphins they still have the Patriots to play, so the Patriots better be careful. All right, guys. So we have your picks. Obviously, next week when we come, we're going to see you know what's really popping. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to go around the room, of course. 30 seconds. We want to go around 30 seconds. Here is Jeff. Jeff Entertainment saying Steelers now win, Giants will win, Dolphins no good, Cowboys is a must. You know, clearly Jeff Entertainment don't really know much about football.
Robbie Rich, you know.
I know Robbie Rich.
Where's the basketball? Robbie Rich for start.
Robbie Rich is here with the EPL and La Liga and basketball. Just allow the NFL alone, big boss.
No, Robbie Rich.
Hey, all right. So Devin, go ahead with your 30 seconds.
All right, quickly. You know, I want to talk about Steve Kerr for the 30 seconds. Because when he was with Golden State and people were saying, yes, he inherited a good team, you win the championship, and yes, you get a good team from Mark Jackson had built whatever with them. And I remember when he was coach and he was out with his back issue, and Luke Walton coming and people were saying, see there, Luke stepped in, did the same thing because he had a team or whatever. But now this team that they had with Clay out, and you know they're playing good. And they're getting the wins without a Klay Thompson, and you know Kevin Durant is not there anymore, and basically he's just Steph. And when I look at the game today too, we have to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit for that for the way this team is playing.
Yeah.
Wiggins wasn't in the game. Jordan Poole came along. You know we have to look at the development of Poole under Kerr too, and Jordan Poole wasn't playing today too, and they still managed to beat the Suns. So, you know, I think Steve Kerr should be getting some credit as being a real good coach. Yeah.
I agree. And obviously, you know, for those who don't know, Steve Kerr was named the USA men's basketball coach. So, you know, clearly, you know, individuals out there are seeing his accomplishment and what he's bringing to the table. Gary, you're 30 seconds.
Kems, I want to go before me. Go on before me. I'm not right.
All right. If you're not, that's all right. But my quick 30 seconds. Is that the Lakers playing right now. They're playing against the Nets. The Nets are without Kyrie Irving, without Kevin Durant, and you know a bunch of other players. But they do have James Harden. So if the Lakers can't win this, then I don't know. Look at that. And one. Dwight Howard need to leave the team. Like honestly. I remember when they talk about this team being old and, you know, I was giving them flack for, but this team is old. They can't defend anybody. I said it last night on the EPL podcast. They can't defend anybody. They can't stop anybody. And it's just an absolute travesty right now. There is no way LeBron at 36-year-old, 19 seasons should be playing 39 minutes, you know, in this thing. You know, LeBron should be carried right now and just averaging 20 points a game. But, hey, you know, we need to make a trade. You know, I want Miles Turner, and I want somebody else. And I can't remember the name on top of my head right now, but I definitely want Miles Turner to the team. No, sir. We can't take the two of them. We want Miles Turner, we can give them. Yeah, we have to get rid of some of them old money, man. Some of them Trevor Ariza and all them sentimental players that we have to get rid of. Go ahead, Gary.
All right. Don't really have anything to talk about this thing, but we just want to make one thing. One statement I want to make. And I go on the limb. I never know much of a limb. I know you never want nobody else talk about Lakers, but I gotta tell you, say the Lakers will do well to make it to the plane. If they will make the plane, to be honest, but don't be surprised if they don't make it out of the plane into the playoffs. This team is team terrible, man.
Well,
team terrible.
So are you saying that if the team stays as currently constructed?
No, if it stays as currently, they'd have to make some moves. Yeah. Definitely have to make some moves, get some pieces, build chemistry. But at this stage in the season, more than quarter way going into the new year, we now at 500 or 16 and 17 or 16 and
16 and 17.
Yeah, being in that position, so it's not like 1 month or so. The season has gone. I consider into almost January, and the team is looking this way. With the team currently constructed, then they went well to win 40 games. They might end up with 39, 40 games. And I don't think they will, even if they end up, because it goes up to 10, you know, so they will definitely be playing. But don't be surprised if they are knocked out of the playing if this team continues as how it is. Poor LeBron, boy, you know, him you know, I'm not a LeBron fan, but boy, him get basket to carry water. The team, the only reason why they matter about the Lakers, we all know LeBron is the man, you know, king. But if he wasn't on that team, basically the team as currently constructed, the team not good. None at all. The team not good. I watched them the other night and I say this is ridiculous.
It's funny how the Lakers had the Lakers has had the easiest schedule up to this point and are struggling the most.
And are struggling. So Kems, imagine when them start playing. If they must struggle and the team hasn't played any, no, sir.
I'm just glad this is coming out today. I'm just glad all of this is coming out because, you know, someone was just batching the coach and now then jump from half of the coach and saying the team finally realizing the team is good.
No.
Everybody knows there are bigger problems than they have bigger problems.
The coach is bad too. The coach is bad too because some of the lineups that the coach is sending out there is suicidal.
That is true, but
we can definitely talk about that tomorrow for sure.
All right. So.
You know, I want to big up everybody that tune in. Remember, continue subscribing. We have some great things for the new year. Producer, big up yourself. Gary, are you there tomorrow?
Not 100% sure yet.
Devin?
Yeah, not 100%.
All right. So you guys have a good night. Merry Christmas again. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Monday, man. So I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, man. Blessings.